receive the monthly checks. At Crown Properties Incorporated. For more information, call 504-366-4001. That number again is 504-366-4001. Or come visit us at 405 Gretna Boulevard, Suite 109, Gretna, Louisiana. Crown Properties Incorporated. For all your property management needs. You be the investor. We'll be the landlord. Crown Properties Incorporated.
Hey, what are you doing for lunch this Friday, January 8th? Well, the New Orleans Talk Network has got an
Oh, okay. I saw her hair coming out of the back. Talk with Mary Jae, and we're live on NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. I'm hoping you're having a happy Merry Monday this morning. We're having a happy Merry Monday in the studio today on NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. This is Real Talk with Mary Jae. I have in the studio live with us today, we're sharing on love and relationships. I have Marseah Delatte in the studio once again, y'all. And the lovely Shardae Womack is in the house with us this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you ladies doing?
Wonderful.
Great, great, great.
Yes, I'm doing awesome this morning.
You all are looking awesome and fabulous and all of that. You know, I was just still trying to get my hair together. I was putting the headsets on, and it's like everything just kind of got scattered about. But you all are looking radiant today.
We
all are.
Thank you. You look awesome.
I'm so happy to have you guys in the studio. You are like my favorite persons in the world. You know, my beautiful sweetheart right here. I just love her so much and admire her. A Renaissance woman. She's going to tell you who she is. And then my lovely sweetheart is like a daughter to me. I just love her with all my heart. But I have some powerful, anointed, intelligent, beautiful women of God in the studio with us on this morning. So we're going to start with you, Marseah. Will you let them know exactly who you are? We know you were on our show on last week, but for our listening audience today, and don't leave out anything, because if you leave out something, you know I'm going to come right back to it. Okay, so let them know exactly who you are, our radio listening audience.
Well, good morning. My name is Marseah Delatte. I am a managing member at Elite Construction Services here in New Orleans. I am a general contractor, commercial and residentially licensed. I guess I've kind of revamped a little bit. Now I'm doing real estate development, where I have kind of pinned myself in the Treme area.
Yes, you
My
have.
office is there, so I kind of wanted to improve around where I work, where I live.
Right.
It's been in my family for as long as I can remember. The office has been, so it's kind of imprinted. And the model, our business model of where we're going to improve. I'm in business with my brother. He and I am a fourth generational contractor.
Right.
So it dates back. We only improve and grow from where we were, but that legacy is just there. So my niche is restoration, because I like to improve or bring back to life what others say needs to be gone or is dead.
Yeah.
And so for me, that is just, it's rewarding. Mm-hmm. It's very much rewarding. I'm also a mother of 3 teenage boys.
Handsome boy.
Thank you. 2 are away at college. I have my oldest son, Daniel, who is at Ohio Wesleyan. It's his second year, studying in environmental science, international studies. So he's a double major. I have my middle boy, who is at Asbury, a small private liberal arts Christian university, where he's playing basketball, but pursuing his degree in equine studies, which is studies of horses.
Yes.
And my youngest boy is Dylan, my firecracker, who is a 10th grader at Brother Martin. So I'm kind of on the verge of empty nesting, but I'm so proud of them.
Right, right.
I don't think I've left anything
Oh,
out.
you
I
left
probably will.
plenty out. Let them know your degree, which you went to school for your studies.
Okay, I left the city of New Orleans. I went to school here for about a year and a half in college and knew I wanted more, but I had a father who said, even though my parents were the ones to say, go out and adventure, see the world in order for you to know what it is you like, what it is you want, what else is out there. I went for a summer program at Johnson and Wales University in Providence, Rhode Island. My father said, you're too young, you need to come home and get your roots here. So I stayed in New Orleans for a year and a half. But, Marcy, if you do well, you can go back. So I did. I went back to Rhode Island, and I have a degree. My BA is in hospitality, hotel, restaurant, tourism is my specialty. My degree is in institutional management. It is a college typically known for culinary. So if you know the Brennans, if you know Emeril Lagasse, they are graduates of that university. I did a little bit of that, but most of it was on the hospitality and hotel, restaurant, tourism. We had to do a broad, vast studies in different areas. So I did do some culinary, but that is
and she, you know, like I said before on the show, she is a Renaissance woman. She's still being modest. I love her sweet spirit. You know, raising 3 handsome boys, very well educated, fluent in Spanish.
Yes.
Now a single mom, you know, doing it. I mean, building houses. Let me tell you about this girl. She's talking about, I just restore properties in the Treme. She has taken over the Treme area, you guys. I mean, she would see something that you would consider deplorable, ready to be demolished, tear it down. Marcia will walk in there and look at the scope, the foundation, and say, you know what? I want this.
That's right. I typically pick out the worst.
Yes.
Let me just say.
And I'm telling you, go to her page. Tell them your page. You have a Paul Marcia Irons, is it?
Yes.
Okay. On Facebook.
Yeah.
Go to her page and look at it. This girl will go into a house that would be torn down, that the city would say, get rid of it. Right. It's infested. She would say, oh, no, it has good bones. It shall live again.
It shall live again. Correct.
And I mean, she will go in from the interior to the exterior. She does all the picking out from the floors to the ceilings to the the marble and countertops, everything, and flip that house, baby, and it'll be on the market in a high ranking, high price range. Yes. Yeah, she knows what she's doing. My girl, she's and can cook. She's on it. We'll chef you up a meal in a minute. So she knows exactly what she's doing, and I think your hospitality, studies in hotel management and all of that, it pays off, and it's exactly like in that industry, Sure,
serving
exactly
and being able to be hospitable, because you can. Your product sells itself. Yes. Typically, you go in, but then you got to have the heart and the vision to put into it that it ends up at the end of the day speaking to the buyer or speaking to whoever is looking at it. So you have to kind of embody and think about the end product. I can go in and say, yeah, I'm going to do this, but what do these colors really say? Do they really invite you? Are they warm? What does it say when you take where people put years of paint on a product and you take it down and you expose the true beauty? I don't have to have a lot of paint on it. I don't have to cover it up. I want you to see the authentic uniqueness of what was built back in 1908. So part of what we do as well is I normally like to get the history of a product. So I go through and I look, there's this thing called Sanborn maps, which is years ago where insurance companies would go in to determine what it is that this property, where it is on a plot. So I go back in that study and I say, hey, this was built 1908. It is a Creole cottage. It is, and typically what we do is we give whoever purchases the home a huge plaque that we build out of barge board on the history of their property.
That's nice.
Before and after.
Wow.
So it is, and I almost want you to be able to go back in time and whatever it looked like then is what you're going to get now. Now you're going to have some modern finishes. You're going to have a nice granite kitchen, right? You're going to have a beautiful bathroom that typically might have a clawfoot tub. but it's
I
going to
love
also
it.
have a
I love
shower.
it. I love it. I've seen your work.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We pride ourselves in trying to really put craftsmanship, I mean, true skilled craftsmanship people can go in and do, but just to put the original things you can't even buy anymore.
Right.
They don't make those trees. They're not here anymore. So that cypress can't be reproduced. I can try to replicate it, but I can't reproduce it.
Yeah.
So I try to maintain what is there. So, and the true beauty, it doesn't have to be covered up. Expose it.
That's
and
right.
show.
That's right. And so if you guys are looking to renovate, if you're looking to buy a home, if you have property that needs to be restored,
Or want to
Marseah-
sell.
Yeah, rent to sell. Marseah Delatte is your girl
Thank
with
you.
Elite Constructions, correct?
That's right.
Now, she is the owner of this. She and her brother
Right.
own this company, and they're doing an amazing work in the whole New Orleans area, Treme area. So, Marcy, I'm telling you, girl, you working it. You're doing it.
Thank you so much. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
And I have my beautiful sweetheart. I just love to pieces.
Beautiful smile.
Shardae Womack is in the house with us, and she is just a blessing to my heart. And so, Shardae, I just want you to introduce yourself as well and tell the people who you are and what you do.
Okay, awesome.
Don't leave
Hi.
anything out.
Well, I definitely don't have as much to say as Miss Marcy. She is awesome. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited to even
Thank
be
you.
a
Time.
part. This is a lot of knowledge and wisdom in the room.
Yes,
So,
it is.
I'm so excited to be a part of the show, just to hear more, and even also to get with you later. I do
Okay.
know people that need your services.
Okay.
But hi, my name is Shardae Womack, as Mary Jae stated. I'm a recent graduate from Southern University Law Center. Yes, go Jags. We just had homecoming this weekend. And I have a master's in public administration also from Southern University. My undergrad degree is in political science from Dillard
Oh.
University, Blue Devils. And currently, I'm really not necessarily working on anything permanently, but I am organizing. I've always been an organizer since high school. This is just something that's a niche that God has given me. And so right now, I'm not working on anything permanently because I'm preparing to take the bar in February.
Wonderful.
And we know how hard it can be. So I need to focus on
That's
studying.
right.
Graduating is just the first step. Often people say, oh, you graduated, you're done. And it's like, no, it's not done. We have to get licensed. And so in February, I will be taking the Louisiana State Bar. And once I do pass and become licensed,
That's right.
I'll come back so I can get some.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. So just prepping for the bar, of course, and taking bar prep classes. So that's taking up most of my time. But in the meantime, in the between time, when I do have extra time, I do organize and I help most visionaries bring their visions to pass.
Wow.
That's the gift God has given me.
Yes.
So I can sit in a room, I can listen to a vision, I can give you solutions on how to execute.
Wonderful.
I can help you bring in resources to actually see it manifest. And so that's the goal. That's what I do. And currently I'm working on 2 projects. Assisting my sister, as you know, Michaela Womack came on last week.
Yes, she
And
did.
she has her first community jam on this Saturday, October 29th. And it's from 3 to 6 at Shakespeare Park. And so we're looking forward to that. I know it'll be a great and amazing turnout.
Yes,
And
it will
the park is in the heart of an urban community that is often forgot about.
Right.
And so this is something that's near and dear to her heart. And her company is called My Dream Team. And she desires and hopes to help other young people experience a dream.
That's
No matter how big or small, she usually uses her character and cartoon company to bring young people, little people's visions to life. And so many times when we're in certain communities and environments, we don't get a chance to dream big.
That's right.
And so it allows them to understand and know that there's more to life and more
right.
to life outside of New Orleans. I love New Orleans. I'm a native, born and raised here. However, we want to allow our children to know that the sky is the limit. And so when she comes on the scene, whatever type of event it may be, whether it's corporate or whether it's private parties, she is able to inspire those children to know this is attainable and then there's more beyond this. And so on October 29th between 3 and 6 at Shakespeare Park, she's going to do a community jam. It will have several resources available to the children, activities. They'll have trick-or-treat tables. They'll also have
motivational
speakers,
entertainment.
yeah, entertainment. It's going to be live. It is huge, and so many
Food.
food. Oh yeah, free food.
Everything's free.
People usually come. People, if you come and bring your kids, it will be a blessing. And this is an annual event. This is her first time having a
Yes.
community jam in this
I'm
park,
excited
but it
for
will
my
be an
girl.
annual event. So if you are free and you're in the New Orleans area, make your way to Shakespeare Park October 29th and definitely be a part.
Yes,
Wonderful.
awesome.
Yes.
You know, Michaela was on the show, and you know, she's just a beautiful woman of God as well. And I have all of these beautiful women that continue to flood Real Talk with Mary Jae Studio, and I love it because I want, you know, as I said before, to get the world to see that we have some independent thinkers, we have some mover and shakers, we have some anointed and appointed women of God that are strong in the word, and you know who they are and whose they are, that they're, you know, independent within their own right, and they know, you know, how to stand strong through a whole lot. But you know, Shardae, she just went through her little stuff really quick and jumped right into Michaela. She's so sweet and humble. But Shardae is a preaching machine. She didn't tell you that. She's the executive assistant at City of Refuge, where her father serves as the pastor, Pastor Preston Jones. And she's just, my girl is solid. She's just solid. She just solid, loves God, can pray the whole house down. You know,
Well,
you're
bless
talking
God.
about a praying woman. I had her on my Wild Wednesday prayer call one morning, every Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. we do our prayer call, and I had Shardae to come in and pray, you know. So whenever I make it to the City of Refuge and I'm there, I'm like, I'm waiting for Shardae to get that mic and start praying, you know. I was in the back in Pastor Preston's office, and Shardae was praying, and I mean, I was like, I felt the power of God in the back in the office, and I was like, that's Shardae. I know that's Shardae in here. So my girl is solid, single. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we're not thirsty. You know, every woman is not thirsty. Every woman is not looking for attention and attraction. We were talking on our last show about validation and affirmation. That has to come from within us. You know, it has to first be in us, and we have to love ourselves, love who we are. We're talking about love and relationships, and we're going to be talking about some toxic relationships and how to let go of those toxic relationships. You know, if you're looking for love in all the wrong places and all the wrong spaces, you know, you have to look deep within. We're getting ready to go in the commercial break, but I don't want you to leave. I want you to stay right there because we're coming back, and we're going to talk about love and relationship with these beautiful women in the studio. I think they know a little bit about it, don't you think? You think you know a little bit about it, ladies?
A little bit, maybe, just a little.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
a little.
Just a little. I think they know, you know, because they know the one who loved them first. They know their
yes,
Savior,
yes,
you know. So he's placed the love inside of them. He's instilling. So you know what I say? We know what not to look for. That's what I first knew about love, when I knew what love was not.
Yes.
Right.
So knowing what love what it is not, you know, you're able to know exactly what love is. So we don't want to be a part of the toxic relationships, but we want to be able to empower women and let you know that you can love the skin you in, love deep within, because you know what? You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Stay tuned for Real Talk with Mary Jae coming up back right here. Don't go anywhere on NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Linda Lewis, Director of Armstrong Family Services. I'm here to remind you that anyone can become homeless, even you. Armstrong Family Services is a nonprofit organization that serves families in crisis. We focus on keeping homeless families together. Post-Katrina, we have helped over 1,000 families. Now we need your help. For more information, please call 504-899-2995.
Crown Properties Incorporated, development and property management specialists, specializing in commercial and residential properties. With over 20 years experience, we specialize in property management, tenant placement, rent collection. We also manage single group housing. We have a full-time maintenance staff. 24-hour emergency on-call services. And we're fully licensed and insured. Let us do all the work while you receive the monthly checks at Crown Properties Incorporated. For more information, call 504-366-4001. That number again is 504-366-4001. Or come visit us at 405 Gretna Boulevard, Suite 109, Gretna, Louisiana. Crown Properties Incorporated. For all your property management needs. You be the investor. We'll be the landlord. Crown Properties Incorporated.
This is Tanya Free. A conservative-leaning website has launched a petition to include Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas into the Smithsonian Museum of African American Culture and History in Washington, D.C. Petition signers think he deserves credit for his extraordinary contributions to American government and constitutional scholarship. What's your take?
The Tanya Free and Friends Talk Show, your destination for the best in social and political straight talk. Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern.
This is the Reverend D. Dunn.
And Charles Stewart.
We will be coming to you live every Monday, 11 to 12 noon, on New Orleans Talk Network, hosting a new show, A Church Without Walls. The church is us, and the church is you. We are church with no boundaries. Stay as long as you want, leave when you want. Remember, every Monday, 11 to 12 noon, tune into A Church with No Walls.
Don't you dare miss it.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
There are moments in life when we hesitate. Buying a home shouldn't be one. Markets are changing and interest rates are still low. Now is the time to make your move. At Rocksteady Realty, we are determined to find a home for you. We know the area, provide personal attention, and more convenience. For all your residential and commercial needs, contact Willie Jones at Rocksteady Realty at 504-460-3819. Discover the Rocksteady difference.
Mary Monday. You tuned in to Real Talk with Mary Jae, and we're live on New Orleans Talk Network. You're listening to Mary Jae. I hope you're having a happy Merry Monday. We're in the studio every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And don't forget to follow me at 10 p.m. on tonight Central Standard Time at blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary Jae. I hope you're listening. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube. We're on Twitter, all the social media network outlets. I want you all to follow us. Download the app NOTN, New Orleans Talk Network, and you can listen to all of our shows there live. But we have in the studio once again, we just came back from our commercial break. We have Marseah Delatte, my Renaissance woman. Yes, yes, yes. We have her in the house with us today, and my beautiful Shardae Womack. That's our lawyer, our preaching machine right there. So we're talking about, guys, love and relationships. You know, we're talking about looking for love in all the wrong places. I've been doing an episode on Real Talk with Mary Jae. We're going into phase 2 now on love and relationships. But I did an episode called Is Dating Just a Game? You know, we talked about the dating game because we see, you know, Shardae, I know you gave me that little eye just now, like, you know. You know, Shardae gave me the eye like, yup, it's a, you know, but we talked about it because we find that, you know, in this day and time, Shardae, how old are you?
28.
I'm 28. Beautiful, you know, getting ready to take her board exam, have a lot under her belt, already independent, already sufficient. We don't have time to be out here playing games, you know. If you're not bringing substance, if you're not coming bearing substance and know what you want, you know, we don't have time to waste time, you know. And so many times we get caught up into just having to have that thirst quench. You know, a lot of women I see out there, they're so thirsty. You don't have to just go and spend your time with somebody just because he said he want to take you out, or let's go to dinner, let's go to lunch. You know, that's okay. Now, this girl is in her 20s already, and you know, and she's already come to that level in her life where she knows what she wants. So, ladies, let's gel just for a minute. We're not too deep, right? Because you know we're meeting everybody from all walks of life all over the world. But let's talk for a moment about relationships. What is there? I'm gonna start with you, Shardae. What are you looking for in a relationship?
That's a good question.
Now your daddy told me you had a whole long list, so
well, it is that there is a list.
Yeah,
there is a list.
Specifics.
And so, I would say, what are my deal breakers? Let's say that.
Yeah.
Because the list is. It's a list.
Because I said we have our do's and our don'ts.
Right.
Right.
So some must-haves, of course, would first be he needs to know God.
Yes.
And not just know him as far as going to church, but he needs to have a relationship. I need to know that he can hear, and not only do he hear, but that he fear.
Fear is so important.
Not fear of me, but fear of God is important, because every decision you make, I know you reverence him to the extent where you would never want to displease him.
Yes.
So if you're not displeasing him, then I know you will do everything in your power to make sure that I'm taken care of.
That's right.
So that's first and foremost. But then there are some practical things. I talk to women all the time in ministry, and they're like, well, as long as he know God. And I'm like, no, because there are people that know God that don't have jobs. And that's not going to work because
that's right.
There's some practical tools that needs to be applied. So of course he needs employment, and not just employment, but a career path that he needs to be on. He needs ambition. He needs to not be. He needs to know that I'm ever evolving. I'm ever changing. And so in this season, I may do this, but in another season, I'm willing to do something else. And so I need him to always be in that constant state of, I'm ready to evolve, to go higher, and to do greater things. Any type of complacency is a big turn off for me, because if you're complacent, and I don't usually date men in my 20s, but if I did, if you're complacent now, I can only imagine when you're 50, you're stuck in your ways, don't want to do anything. You're not willing to move or compromise just a little so that we can do greater things, and not just for us, but I always think about my children's children. You know, I'm thinking about what are we going to do to make sure our grandchildren and great grandchildren will be a part of the legacy that we leave. Some other things. He needs to be able to have a worldview. I've had the opportunity to travel around different areas of the world, and I can have certain conversations, and I know sometimes in our age, even though you may have not been afforded the opportunity to travel in person, there's just some things that you should be knowledgeable of that is going on around the world, and not just the United States. There are certain things happening right now across seas that we should be very aware of, because it will affect us, even if it's not directly, indirectly, it will affect our lives. And so we need to be very clear on what's happening.
And I think Google gives us the opportunity to do
it's
that.
so easy. It's not hard, and it's
away.
not complicated.
Yes.
And then, of course, a family man. Family is important to me. Family is, of course, your first ministry. And so if you're not a family person, or you don't do people,
it's turn off.
First of all, in ministry, which I do full time most of the time, I'm around people all the time. Right. So you have to, love people, because I love people in Christ. We have to love each other.
Right.
Yeah, we're called to do that. But also, you have to be family oriented. And even if that's something that you did not see, at least be open to allowing that to transform and evolve into your life so that you can actually experience it.
Right.
But that's main.
You know, and I'm glad you said family man, you know, because I said all the time, you can be a man in the family and still not be a family man.
Yeah. That's right.
You know,
Right.
you have to be family oriented, and I love that too, because definitely I am big, huge on family.
Yes.
Marcia.
I think I was just going to comment on her. She mentioned something about, being able to evolve and being able to, know the world's view. But I think it was something you said specifically. I can't really remember. But I think what we have to do is if you see something, most women think if I see it, I can change that.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's going to be different once
Right.
we're married.
Oh, I did that, done that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that
yeah.
when you're saying you have your list and this is what you want, you should not compromise
Right.
Yes.
your value, your
Yes.
standard. But sometimes we don't pay attention to what we see. We
Yes.
think that'll get better.
Right.
It'll be different when I'm married. It'll be different once we're together. When we can
Right.
live together, that's different.
Right.
And you should not. I think that's good that you say, listen, I know where I want to go.
Yes.
I know that things are going to change. And in life, even that, you may like someone when you're 25 and
Right.
what he does for you moves you.
Right.
When you're 35, you got different things that
Yes.
move
Yes.
you.
Yes.
And if you can't grab and catch on and let's
That's
evolve
right.
to
Yes.
when I'm 35, yeah, you did that when I was 25. That's good. I'm 35.
Right.
I know a little bit more.
Right.
So if you still think 25 stuff's going to work for me,
Yes.
it's not.
Not at all.
So you have
Not
to
at
be
all.
able to grow. You have to be able to, and maybe, let's say for a gentleman or a woman, I don't really know what that is. I don't know. You got to listen to the person.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the information. And even though it may not be in your comfort zone,
Right.
you got to be able to, it's when you love somebody. And I think the other thing you mentioned was if we understand the love of God, we know how to really love God,
Yes.
then we can love someone else. But you got to really take time and separate and learn that, develop that relationship.
Right.
Because then you know. Mary also mentioned we know what it's not, but God tells us what
What
it
it
is
is.
too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we got enough resources here. We
Yes.
just got to make sure we stay in tune because sometimes we're tempted to do other things.
That's right. That's
Um,
right. You know, and God gives us the description of what it
Mhm.
not. You know, He tell you it's not vain. It's
Mhm.
not puffed
That's
up.
right.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't
Right.
exalt
Right.
itself. You know, love is pure. Love is kind. You know,
Yes.
love is patient.
Mhm.
But what Shardae has said as it relates to evolving, always evolving. You know, I am so glad that I am free. That I'm no longer in a box.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm so glad that you mentioned that point because a lot of times we get in these relationships and we become stagnant. We become, you know, complacent and we don't get outside of
Yes.
all of who we are, our
Yes.
full potential.
Yes.
I'm doing things today that I probably would have never done, you know, 10 years ago,
Right.
5 years ago, but it's always been in me.
Yes.
You
Mhm.
know,
Yes.
so yeah, you definitely have that. And I'm gonna tell you, deal breaker. We were talking about that because you said that. That is exactly one of my deal breakers. I had a gentleman that was pursuing me. Somebody I dated years ago, you know, came back and all excited that you're divorced. Oh my God, you know, thought it was on and popping. You know, and he's a good guy. He really is. He was a good guy when we dated. We were very, very young then, but you know, and he said he reached a point in his life where he wants to settle down. You know, his income bracket is outstanding. He's doing well. He's divorced as well. You know, he has a lot going on. He loves the Lord, intelligent young man. He's not a street runner, not a road runner.
Okay, Mary, what's the
smoke.
problem, Mary?
Girl, you sound like my mom. That's exactly what she said. Let me tell you where my antennas go up at. When you can say you're doing too much. You need to slow down. And if you were married to me, you wouldn't be doing all of that.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
that, you know, I was like this. I had like antennas was like beep 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 beep. You know? Oh, really?
Okay, right.
You know, because and not so much in the stance, I think his intent was
Sure.
you won't have to do as much. You won't have to work as hard. I can
right.
take care of you but my thing is, but this is my purpose.
That's right.
Yes.
This is my calling.
Right.
You know, I'm destined to do what I'm doing.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, you can cripple a person when you start pulling the things from them, what you know God has gifted them to do.
Yes.
You can really cause them to be disabled and
That's right.
dysfunctional.
Yes.
You know, when you know a person has a passion and a drive and an ambition to be more and to want more, and I'm telling you, I love it with everything in me. So when he started talking about, you know, you too busy, and I'm all, wait, hold up, you know, we just reconnected. What are you talking about?
This is innately. I got that.
So my thing was I didn't want to waste the brother's time.
Sure.
Because I already saw, you know, you want this life, and I'm kind of up here. I've been there. You know, I want to settle down too at some point, but everything that's in me right now that I can do, I will do. I'm going to do with no restrictions, no limitations. Now, I'm not saying...
And you shouldn't have to compromise that.
Exactly. No. And I'm not saying, guys, for the guys that are listening, you know, because I know I'm going to get some mails saying, you see, you know, these women, they don't want to do
independent women.
Their man want to take care of them, and they won't be so independent. I love independence, and I love having someone to take care of me as well.
Sure.
But I do not want anyone to stagnate the vision that God has given me when I know it came from him. When I said I've been there, done that, I did that already.
Yes.
And I don't want ladies to get submission and control twisted.
Yeah, correct.
There's a thin line.
That's right.
You know,
manipulation.
That's right. That's right. You know, and I've been. I shut down my ministry before. I quit my job before. You know, because you know my husband didn't want me doing this, doing that. I did all of that.
Right.
And when I tell you, I felt like I felt like I was in a shell. I felt smothered. You know, that isolation and control is not healthy. And a lot of times we miss the signals. So that's not where I want to go. You know.
And you said something so important in my time with God. He keeps telling me common purpose is when you will know.
Right.
And oftentimes I've dated men who are very well off, established, and who's just like, okay, I'm done, I'm finished, I'm ready, so now you come and be a part of this. Now this is wonderful because we know that's how Adam was. Adam had everything together, ladies. You didn't have to help him get it together. He was already established, and you know, Eve was added once he was complete in everything he needed.
Right.
And so, but I will say this, in my time of dating men who have been established and who are very well off, there was still something that was missing, and God said it will require my mate. We will have to have common purpose. And God is not going to allow you to be yoked with someone that is not going to support, encourage, and help you propel into the purpose and calling He has for your life. And in a situation I was in recently, well, a few years ago, when I was dating, there was he wasn't trying to stop me, but he wasn't supporting you. And so at the top of my list today, support. I'm like, okay, you need to know God, and then you need to support. Because in what God has called me to do, I have to fulfill the purpose. I have to fulfill the plan. But at the same time, you have to support it and encourage it, even though it's something different and it's not welcomed by many people and it's non-traditional. You know, I understand that. But as my other half, you're supposed to actually help me get to the next place and not. And some people say, well, he's not stopping you. He's not stopping me, but he's not rooting me on either. And that makes all the difference when you're doing something. And so that common purpose is important, because when you get together, you're going to fulfill your purpose and he's going to fulfill his purpose, and they usually overlap. It's not one competing against the other. We're not in competition. We're working side by side, fulfilling the same purpose, and it's so in sync to where when we walk together, you can see our purpose is separate, but yet a oneness in our walk. And so that's what God wants.
I think that's good. You said that when someone doesn't say something too, it's a passive, sometimes aggressive comment. It's an undertone. So no, you didn't say. That's like, I love you. Well, I show you I love you, but you didn't say you love me. I need to hear. Well, I provide. I go. That's not love. So I'm saying that to say, yes, sometimes you can say, well, he didn't really stop you, but you want the encouragement. So you not saying something can mean something too. So I think that's good.
And you know, you also have those that support. That encourage.
Sure.
They
but
do.
Deep down inside, I'm telling y'all, y'all know I'm talking about from a place where I've already experienced. I mean, was my motivator, my encourager, my supporter, but there was something going on in the inside that was very competitive, you know, that was very jealous, that, you know, he felt that he was living in my shadow, walking in my shadow. But that was just all the stern of the enemy, you know, because you know, when you love someone and you know what they're called to, you're not going to tell them not to do. You know, you're not going to be my biggest cheerleader publicly, and then privately you tearing me down and you doing this and you doing that and you going. But you're the one that said it was okay. You're the one that said God called you to this. You're the one that said you're anointed to do what you're doing, and I'm backing you. So as Shardae say, when you walk together in harmony, there's supposed to be a cohesiveness. There's supposed to be a unity, and a force. Even though it's separate, we're still together. There's still a oneness. I'm going to build you up, baby. You know, I'm going to esteem you highly.
Yes.
I'm going to even call you Lord. Yes, my Lord. You know, Sarah called Abraham Lord.
Yes.
I'm going to make you feel that you're the king of the castle.
Right.
You know, and I'm going to take care of home as long as I. Now, it's different if you're taking care of somebody else's house. You know, and you work in somebody else's field, and then your house tore up from the floor up. Then we have a problem.
Right.
But if you're doing what you have to do in the house, out the house, the children taken care of and everything, there shouldn't be any competitiveness.
No.
There should not be. And we all, as members, have different functions.
Yes.
But we're still one body.
Yes.
Right.
So I think in that's just a testament, you know, I guess the word to back up what you're saying. Although we have different gifts, we have different giftings. I got different callings.
Right.
It's all for one mission.
Yes.
At the end of the day, just the same as the arm does something different than the leg, but it's still for one member, the body. So I think we need to, you know, another thing is just getting before God. But I wanted to ask a question. So he presents himself for a young woman. All these things that look good. It seems like I prayed about it. He showed up. And then, let's say some years later, you realize it's not. How do you, in your faith walk, how do you process that? Does it mean I really wasn't hearing from God? Was it that I really made a mistake? Was it that, I don't know, I wasn't patient enough? Maybe I really didn't pray hard enough about that? How does a woman then know? Because I say, okay, I asked God for this. I prayed for this.
Right.
So how does that work? What do you think? I mean, how does a young woman then process that? Because I wasn't out here doing that. I mean, I saw God, and then it just turned around. Here's somebody I don't really know. I thought I saw the right things. I thought God was telling me this is who He called me to. This is what this was my soulmate.
I'm gonna tell you, we would have to go into a whole nother show.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, but that's good. You want to say something before I close out?
Real quick. Usually, women or the enemy is a deceiver. He's cunning.
Right.
And so when you said the prayer and ask God for these things, the enemy heard you say that prayer as well. So he'll send direct everything you ask for if you're not discerning. But let's say if you're not discerning, because when I was young, I wasn't discerning, right? I wasn't walking with God the way I'm walking with God now. And so for those people who are not discerning and you're not in that space, then what else could I do to ensure that I'm making the right decision? There has to be people around you that you trust, such as other family members or even mentors, and they're able to pinpoint and see things that we cannot see. And so I usually introduce whoever I'm dating at the time after a while. After a while, I usually introduce them to specific people in my life who I trust, who have no motive or no interest, who won't even benefit from the decision or the information that they give me. And it's when they're able to say, just over dinner, having small talk conversation, something real simple, or even just bringing them to a barbecue, something laid back to see what they'll really do in certain atmospheres, then those people will help guide you along that way. I'm not saying that you should include people in every decision you make, but this is something that you're talking about partnering your soul, your spirit, your entire being with. And so you need to have those people whom you trust. It may be a pastor, it may be a leader at your church, but if you're not in church, then they're your uncles know what's up.
Mhm.
Your brothers know what's up. You know, they know what's up. So just easily screen them, let them screen.
Yeah,
And,
but you know,
That's
I
good
I
advice.
know what Marcia is talking about too, and we gotta, you know, we had the camouflage man.
Yeah.
We've been on the show with the caveman, the strong man. Um, I want to say to ladies this first of all, because I know where you are and what you're talking about. And and I think about Juanita Bynum. Juanita Bynum was anointed, appointed. She hear from God, and she say, you know, when I marry this man, he's gonna bless both of my hands, this one and that one. And it turned up where she's not even married today. Did she hear from God? I think she did. But we cannot control man. We don't. We stop beating yourself up. You know, saying, did I miss God? Did I hear God? Did I make the right decision? Yeah, you did. But he detoured.
yeah.
He made a mistake,
That's
you
good.
know.
That's
He
good.
went in another direction because I said the same thing. We're talking about looking for love in all the wrong places, in all the wrong spaces. We're dealing with love and relationships on Real Talk with Mary Jae. We want you to stay tuned for more Mary Mondays. Reach us right here on NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Follow me tonight. Follow me at blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary Jae at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we're going to talk a little bit more. We're going to go deeper tonight, y'all. Yeah, we'll be able to take it where we can't take it on this show.
Oh, daytime.
Yeah, our daytime listening. We gotta be a little bit discreet for our daytime listeners. But tonight, we want you all to connect with us at blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary Jae. Thank you, ladies, for coming in. Thank you for sharing with me today. All right, ladies. If you're looking for love, come on, you got to look within. If he don't look like your daddy, the one that created you, the one that
That's
made
right.
you,
Yes.
that's not him.
That's not him.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Crown Properties Incorporated, development and property management specialists, specializing in commercial and residential properties. With over 20 years experience, we specialize in property management, tenant placement, rent collection. We also manage single group housing. We have a full-time maintenance staff, 24-hour emergency on-call services, and we're fully licensed and insured. Let us do all the work while you receive the monthly checks at Crown Properties Incorporated. For more information, call 504-366-4001. That number again is 504-366-4001. Or come visit us at 405 Gretna Boulevard, Suite 109, Gretna, Louisiana. Crown Properties Incorporated. For all your property management needs. You be the investor, we'll be the landlord. Crown Properties Incorporated.
This is Captain Black.
This is Brother Al Mims. Join us for our new show,
The Hostages That Fight Back, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central.
We are all hostages to something.
But it's up to us
to find the courage to fight back and make the change.
So tune in to become the change you want to see in the world, here on New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters! I don't know what this world is coming to.
Wags Food and Culture at 1601 Plaza Drive in Marrero. Always delivering the best food for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's a reason why people keep returning to Wags. The food's always hot, great portions, and it's just down home good. Call ahead to order in advance at 504-348-3080. That's 504-348-3080. And let Larry know that you heard about Wags on the New Orleans Talk Network. Call him now. Wags Food and Culture at 1601 Plaza Drive in Marrero.
This is Jill Samuel with Faith That Works. Join us today as we allow the Word of God to change the lives of people by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world. I want to personally thank you for spending this hour with me and the body of Christ. Join us on Tuesdays from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time to 12 p.m. on the New Orleans Talk Network. Your encouraging coach, Miss Jill.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
You wanted that phone, and the answer was no. You needed that car, and the answer was still no. Your family liked that apartment, but they said no again. They even turned you down for the job you were qualified for, all based on a bad credit report. Your credit can be restored. Call Bethesda Community Development Corporation at 504-348-0132. Don't allow a bad credit report to hold you back any longer. Call BCDC at 504-348-0132.
The New Orleans Talk Network has added hundreds of listeners to our email database. But we don't have you. Make sure that you are in the know by sending us your email address. Go to the NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com and send us your email contact so that we can send you action matters, community events, show topics, and a whole lot more. Go to the contact page and email us today your address. That's NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Go to the contact page, send us that email address today.
This is Tanya Free. Deborah Danner, a 66-year-old African-American woman, was fatally shot by an NYPD officer last week. Did I mention she was 66 years old? After 3 presidential debates, many people are still undecided voters. Really? Have you seen the petition launched to get Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas into the Smithsonian Museum of African American Culture? Yeah, let's talk about these stories and more this Wednesday on the Tanya Free and Friends Talk Show, 2 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Central.
Join Tanya Free and Friends at TanyaFree.com. On air, online, and on point.
This is the Reverend D. Dunn.
And Charles Stewart.
We will be coming to you live every Monday, 11 to 12 noon on New Orleans Talk Network, hosting a new show,